Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're talking about Amtrak, one of our favorite ways to travel. We're talking about some do's and don'ts on an Amtrak day trip. I'm Gary.
And I'm Kara. Away we go traveling.
Amtrak is a fantastic way to see new places, relax, enjoy the journey, get new sights. It's awesome.
But like any adventure, a little preparation goes a long way in making sure your Amtrak day trip is smooth and enjoyable. So we've compiled an essential do's and don'ts list to help you have the best experience possible.
All right, let's get into it. Let's start with a few things you want to avoid on your Amtrak adventure. Trust me, your fellow passengers will thank you.
First on our list, and this is kind of a big deal, don't bring smelly food. Look, we all love a really good meal. But remember, you're in an enclosed space, so that delicious deviled egg tray or your leftover fish dinner, maybe not as appetizing to everyone else as it is to you. So be considerate and think of some less fragrant options. We'll talk about what snacks are good for a train trip here in a little bit.
Good snacks.
So the smelly food, personal experience. On our day trip that we just took, the people next to us,
There was a lot of it, and it was very surprising food for a train. They had corn on the cob.
it was just got our attention because it was a massive spread of food. That styrofoam containers and bags and take out and take away bags and it was just like, oh, it's a whole picnic. That's kind of cool. But then it got weird.
Somebody else did have a whole bunch of stuff they were bringing on the train too. I think they were taking a picnic to one of the day trip stops.
Oh yeah.
And they had a whole bunch of stuff on there. As you walked through that car, you could smell all their food too. So it's just one of those things where if you have the ability, try to be respectful to your fellow passengers and, keep whatever you have sealed up. All right, next up, don't put your bare feet on a seat.
Please.
Don't have bare feet at all on a train.
Seriously.
It's just not hygienic. Leave your shoes and socks on, or if you're wearing sandals or flip-flops, leave those on.
Mm-hmm.
Comfort is key on a train trip, but let's keep it hygienic and respectful. Seats are for sitting, and nobody wants to inadvertently share whatever it is on your feet.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to say this. Keep those shoes and socks on while you're on the train. I don't think we need to discuss any more than what you just saw.
Mm-mm.
Just no.
Just don't.
No.
Please just don't. Tip number 3 is don't blast your full volume music and videos, please. Amtrak can be a fantastic way to see the country. And a lot of people use that time to get some work done or just relax. But there's one thing that can instantly ruin the whole vibe for everyone. Look, I get it. You love your music, so do I. But not everyone shares your taste in death metal or your social media videos. So headphones are your best friend and everyone else is in your train car while you're riding Amtrak.
Really, any public transport.
Sure.
Get some headphones.
Yeah.
Everybody's got headphones. Use them.
So for the loud music on our last our day trip, on the way there, and we've done this a couple times, these train trips. On the way there, everyone is in their beautiful summer dresses and their nice little linen jackets. And then you're like, I'm on my way to a fancy winery, blah, blah, blah. On the way home, it is debauchery.
There's a lot of inebriation.
People have been out enjoying the wineries all day.
Which is great.
That's
what you want. That's the whole point of this thing.
But they lose their ability to understand that.
We had a Bluetooth speaker dance party in our train car up and down the aisle. And some of it was fine music. I didn't mind the songs, but not everybody wants to listen to that music for 2.5 hours on the way back.
Yeah, and I think that there were, let me be honest, there were a couple people, and then not with us, who definitely overdid it, but they were definitely not feeling well. So that loud music and the screaming and the cheering and the singing, screaming, made those people feel even worse.
I think Amtrak normally stops that, but I think with this train, just because of the number of people and sort of the nature of the trip, they just kind of let it go. So yeah, ideally, just don't bring those things on the train and don't get them out so you don't have to worry about having a little dance party up and down the aisle. All right, let's talk about alcohol. There's a big surprise. Don't just crack open any alcohol you bring on board to these Amtrak day trips. Now, there's a little bit of a caveat to this. Amtrak does allow you to bring alcohol on board. You're not allowed to consume it, though, in coach seating. So if you're on an overnight Amtrak and you're in your own sleeper car, you can bring your own alcohol on board and you can consume it. But on these Amtrak day trips, don't bring your own alcohol. There is a cafe car, bar car, if you want to call it that, and you can purchase alcohol and you can consume that on board the train, but they don't want you bringing your own on board. Yeah, we didn't bring any alcohol on this day trip. I think we have before. We've brought some back from places. Right. We didn't take any on this one. We didn't bring any back with us either. I don't even think we bought any on the train for this because it was a day trip for winery, so we didn't need any additional alcohol on the train itself. It was more just an informing, you can bring it on board, but you're not supposed to consume it while you're in coach. So for these day trips, if you're going to bring it on board, that's great. Use it when you get to your destination, but otherwise, keep it in the bag.
You don't need a pregame. And our final tip for an enjoyable Amtrak day trip is just don't talk or be too loud. Again, we talked about that before with the music. It's great to travel with friends and chat with fellow passengers, but remember these train cars can be pretty echoey. So you'll want to use your inside voice.
For sure.
People are just trying to relax, maybe read, or just enjoy the hum of the train. I know I do. But be mindful of your volume, especially if you're on the phone and on speakerphone. Again, use headphones for all your devices.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the phone with a work call, you may be giving away private information, your address, a credit card number.
And we've heard that before too. Nobody needs to try to steal your information because you maybe talked about it on a work call.
Okay, we've talked about some of the things we're not supposed to do on a train. Let's talk about some of the things we should do on an Amtrak day trip. These are the fun ones. First up, do bring a charger. Bring a battery pack, bring a charger for your phone, your camera, your iPad, your laptop, whatever it is, as Kara mentioned. You know, you can get some work done on the train, you can watch social media videos, you can map where you're at, whatever it is, and all the seats do have a plug in between them. So these trains are great. They have a plug for you there and you can charge your devices. These Amtrak day trips are going to be multiple hours long. So you're going to have your phone fully charged because, when you get to your destination, you're going to take pictures, you're going to need to navigate, work your way back to the train, show your ticket to the conductor, whatever it is. Yeah, so make sure you bring a charger on those day trips.
So in our last train trip, we were pleasantly surprised to find full outlets, including regular wall plug style and USB-A in between our seats. And seemingly on the car we were on, every seat had that.
Every seat had them, and they all worked. So, sometimes you go on these things, you're on a plane and they've been plugged in so many times, they're just kind of worn out. These were all great. They were all very usable. So it's definitely a nice touch and something you should know about so you can bring those chargers on for your devices.
Right. So remember, we talked about the don't list of smelly food, but there are great foods you can bring on the train. While Amtrak does have the cafe car, having a stash of your own goodies is a great way to save money and ensure you have all of the snacks that you personally like to eat. Think easy to eat, low mess, and low odor items like trail mix, fruit, deli sandwiches, crackers, and even a reusable water bottle are fantastic choices. And just note that sometimes the cafe car, just like any other vendor, might have an issue taking credit card payments or they're out of your favorite item. So it's really great to bring a couple snacks just as a backup plan at the very least. Good example from our most recent day trip on Amtrak. There was some kind of a party where everyone was dressed up really nicely and they were taking cupcakes to celebrate once they got to this winery town. And all that was perfect. They were in the box. I don't think they opened them the whole time. I believe they were intended to go, but they were perfect. Cupcakes don't smell, but they're a nice snack. Even if you did want to have them on the train, even if they were for the train, it was great. It was actually really pretty.
All right, the next do is get up and walk around. Train travel, unlike airplane travel, is great for that. One of the best things about train travel is you have the freedom to move around. You can get up, you can stretch your legs, go to the cafe car, get a coffee, take in views from other parts of the train, whatever it is. It's better than sitting in your seat for those few hours like you'd have to do on a plane.
I know that a lot of times the cafe cars will have seating as well, so you can even take a break and change your venue by enjoying your snack at the cafe car table.
Pro tip, don't leave your valuables behind. If you're traveling alone, don't leave your laptop and your phone sitting in your seat. If you're traveling in a group, have somebody that stays in your seat. We have seen some of the conductors come by and there's nobody sitting in that seat, somebody may hop in your seat and think it's free. So make sure you leave somebody behind or leave something behind that indicates that you're still sitting in that seat and keep your valuables safe.
And the next do on our list, and this is crucial if you're new to trains, especially Amtrak, do pay attention to your station stops because these trains stop and move again very quickly. So unlike airports, train stops can be surprisingly quick. They'll announce your stop, but it's good to be aware of when your stop is getting close. Have your belongings gathered, be ready to disembark very promptly so you don't miss your destination.
When they announce your stop, have your stuff ready to go and be ready to get off the train.
Again, if you haven't done Amtrak before, these stops can literally be 30 seconds long. And if you're not up and at the door and ready to walk off, you might not get off on the right stop, and nobody needs that. Don't ruin your day trip by forgetting to pay attention.
To help with the last point, and just to make your life easier, do get the Amtrak app. So inside of the app, it has live updates as to where your train is, what the next stop is, approximate time for when you're going to arrive, allowing you to prepare for those stops that Kara mentioned can be very fast. So if you're tracking your train as you go, you won't have any issues with, getting surprised that, oh, this is my stop and why is the train moving again? It's also helpful too, when you're trying to return from your day trip, knowing when your train's going to arrive. I mean, obviously there's a schedule, but Amtrak has some issues with being late a little bit historically. Maybe it's only a few minutes, but it's still nice to know you're back on time. Where's my train? The app will let you know what time that train's going to arrive. So having the Amtrak app, having your tickets in there and having all of the live scheduling can be really helpful for these day trips.
Very much.
On our trip, our return was delayed about 30 minutes, but we knew it because we had seen it in the app. So it allowed us to actually explore a little bit more of the town while we were there because we knew our train wasn't going to be on time, and it allowed us to, rather than just waiting on the platform for 30 to 45 minutes, we got to do a little more exploring. With the app, the conductor came by, we were able to pull the QR code up and show it to him. He was able to scan that code and put a little tag on our seat, kind of indicated those were our seats. And that was super easy. We didn't have to have anything hard printed, pulled it right out of the app. So they're clearly set up to do that. No issues. It was great.
Yeah. And the most important tip out of all of these things, do relax and have fun. You're on a train. It's a unique and often scenic way to travel. So lean back, enjoy the ride, and watch the world go by. Maybe read a book, chat with your travel companions, or just daydream. That's what a day trip is all about.
All right, so there you have it. That's our top do's and don'ts for your next Amtrak day trip. Hopefully these tips will help you have an amazing and very memorable journey.
What are some of your Amtrak travel tips? Share them in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up or subscribe for more adventure. Because again, we're on the road full time. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Come with us.
See you next time. Do that one again. I was scratching my beard. I think it'll get up. Why am I blanking on gift for that day? I don't like that at all. Why can I not say those words? Seriously. Why? I still said
what is going on in the universe? Below. If you found, below or on the side if you're on the TV somewhere. Start that over. You don't need a Yeti full of ice and a 36 sleeve.